Hello creatives, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving in to the 1960s for today's 12 designs of Christmas. We are in the 60s and that is where all the exciting stuff happened. We just came off of all the drama of the 50s and now we're into the whole pop art scene where all like the psychedelic topography and all the loud colors start to come into play and all of that. So we are going to be diving into Photoshop on the iPad and we're going to create some hand-lettered ornaments for this one, only because I figured that it would be nice to really dive into more of the topography and less of all like the pop art scene, because it gets a little too, I mean, we all know what pop art is. So let's dive in. I'm in Photoshop here. I have a very simple artboard. It's, I believe, the legal size, just so that way I can have plenty of room and space to making multiple hand-lettered ornaments. Now, hand lettering wasn't really too big back then, although the fonts that they used made it look hand-lettered because they really manipulated fonts a lot during this period. It was definitely very Scooby-Doo, if you will. So I have my artboard here, and if you guys are enjoying this series, which I've done for a few years, and you really like these more deep dives into a little bit of history, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Angela for anyone who is new here, and I am an illustrator and a graphic designer, so we're going to be learning quite a bit today. Just like we have in the past, was it 5 videos? 5 videos. I'm going to be doing all in total 12, so this is the midway point. I'm going to be doing 6 more all the way leading up until Christmas, so stay tuned for the next 6, and if you haven't seen the past 5, I'll leave a playlist somewhere in the description on the screen somewhere. So let's dive into the topography here. I'm going to add a few new layers. In Photoshop, they do have some new features that I have not really touched on yet. New layer, I'm going to do that a few times. I'm going to go back onto this base layer by just tapping on it. For topography, we have fonts such as Eurostyle was huge. You also had the Helvetica family came into like prominence during this time. You had a lot of psychedelic type of fonts. I believe Hobo font was still floating around somewhere in here. And you also had Forte. There was a few more. I know I'm missing some. There was quite a bit going on during the 60s. So for this time period itself, pop art was prominent. So people like Andy Warhol, Paul Rand, and you also had Milton Glaser, the guy with the rainbow hair. He did that design. So that's all prominent during this time. So there's a lot of heavy hitters in modern art that we still look at today that was very popular and came from the 60s. So very, very influential time. I'm gonna create some type on the screen here. Now, we have been using Futura previously, however, I do want to get into some more of the other fonts that were prominent during this time. Also, Baskerville came into prominence as well as Merck. It's a very old font. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Baskerville here. Triple, there we go. I'm just going to do that one for that one. Let's see, for this one, what kind of sayings do we want? Let's do Baby It's Cold Outside. We're going to change this, of course. And then, let's do Jingle Bells. Alright, for this font, I don't want to really use Futura. I really just want to use something that's a bit more appropriate. So something like, oh gosh, Rockwell was back a few videos ago. Palatino was from the 50s. Zepfino is the 80s. So I'm surprised they don't have Eurostyle in here. Helvetica was part of this, but it was the condensed version, not the new. So let's choose Helvetica. Do they have the condensed version? They do not. However, I could do the oblique version for Baby It's Cold Outside. I really wanted to do Eurostyle, however, there were other ones. Ooh, there was Snell, what was it, Snell Roundhand. That was, oh gosh, yeah, that was definitely prominent during this time. Wow, okay. There's bold. What's the black one look like? Oh, yeah, especially the black version. Okay, all right, I think this is a good place to start. Oh, you know what else was popular? Forte. Do we even have Forte in here? We don't. All right, we're going to need, I mean, Bradley Hand we could probably get away with, but it's not really from, Baskerville was. Baskerville was still hanging around, so maybe we do Baskerville. And then we can also do like some hand lettered stuff. So I'm going to have a layer down here, and we're going to start, because this right here, this font, the Snell Roundhand was definitely like 60s style. So let's change it up a bit. Let's choose a brush. Now I want a really like thick, bold brush. Let's do, let's see. There was lots of different colors. There was like the primary colors, and then there was like, not pastel, but lighter versions of the primary colors to where it will be very poppy. So let's do red, and then we'll do a light blue. Okay. Gosh, I really wish there were swatches in this program. Okay, let's see. How big is our brush? Oh, okay, that's pretty good. We can do a very kind of like ornate S that has pretty much like a groovy type of Santa look. Kind of punchy, kind of pop art-esque. Because there was very simple typography during this time, but there was also very ornate typography during this time, because you had two styles kind of going up against each other during this time period. Something really nice and fun as far as like different colors with this. We can do, let's see, let's go to lab. Bring it all the way across to the blue. I love that they put rotate canvas in Photoshop. It makes this so much easier. Now, for these lines that I'm creating, you really want to make sure that you have a very fluid movement from your shoulder in order to create these lines. And S's are hard. Why did I choose an S? I don't know, I just did. In graphic design during this time, they also did overlapping color with effects, and those effects, almost like a multiply effect or an overlay effect, where you can see the color underneath and they combine to make another color. I may even try doing some of that. But I wanted to include some pop art in here just because it was prominent and everyone finds Andy Warhol to be like the king of pop art, but don't forget Milton Glaser was very popular too. So they had a lot of contrasting colors right next to each other. You also had analogous colors as well that you can pull from and use as well. So I'm going to do that too. Bring in some goldy yellow as well. They had lots of bold colors right next to each other. They also had a lot of out of the norm style happening because that's what they wanted. Psychedelic, fun, colorful style going on. And these ornaments, because since it is Christmas time and we are creating ornaments here, I figured it would be nice to have ornaments that could be put kind of like, I guess you would say like in resin, and then like look at them from both sides, which would be really cool. They also had a lot of like actual harsh lines as well during this time. May even outline this, and then we can even go in and do some other opposing colors as well. We'll do some analogous, kind of reminiscent of the old style. Get some fun Christmas colors in there, kind of like Sugar Plum Fairy, elf type colors. I could have done like the same colors on either side, but this is supposed to be fun, you know? And then we can even take this red color and we can take a darker red and lay it over top. And bring down the opacity of it to make it look like it's going to overlay, which I think would be really cool. It looks pretty cool the way it is actually. This pink color I don't think is really working. There we go. Something very, very ornate and very Milton Glaser-like. And then we can also do white as well, like a pure white in the middle, because I know that was very popular during this time as well, to have white lines throughout. something kind of like that. So we have this. I don't think I want to do the gold actually. I think for the gold I want to do more of a green, but I want it to be kind of like a dark, deep green. There we go. Something more like that. So that is one ornament that we can do, and we can have it on the tree. You can put it in resin round and make it really cute and really adorable to have. And then let's go over to this one. Baby, it's cold outside. I think for this one, we should make it an ice blue, I think. Our color over here, and make it a nice ice blue. It always does that. It always takes it away from the screen. Okay, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. We'll have it stacked like that. And then let's rasterize this. Convert it to a smart object. There we go. And then I'm going to make this selection here. We'll distort it a little bit because they love to do all this to their fonts during that time. Make everything kind of like all over the place. And then we're going to do the same thing, or something similar to the word outside. And let's skew it slightly. We're going to do the word baby as well, and do perspective. Give it a bit more space here. Let's see how that looks. Let's choose the words "it's cold" and let's move them a bit. We'll change the perspective on them. There we go. Let's select the word outside. Move that one. The perspective on this is also slightly off. I'd rather have it, we'll just distort it a bit more as well. There we go. So then we have baby, it's cold outside, and then we can also add to the fonts themselves, just like so. And this is all about look and feel, how you want the fonts to react. I'm keeping it very fluid, or as fluid as I possibly can. I don't think this Y needs this. All right, there we go. We got baby, it's cold outside with all like the movement of the topography and such like that. Jingle bells and happy holidays. Let's take happy holidays. There we go. Select all. We'll change the color to a beautiful red. Nice bright red. Happy holidays. And then we can do something really quite fun with this Baskerville font here. Make it very pop arty. Nice yellow. They always had opposing colors or analogous colors like right on top of each other during this time period, because it wasn't just all primary colors, you know. They had like a lot of reds and blues, reds and golds. They had a lot of things like up against each other. And I'm thinking that I might even take this, do a blend mode. Yeah, there we go. We'll do a hard light. And that gives you more of the 60s kind of style. Let me duplicate this one again. Should I do a green? It's almost like Technicolor style in a way. I like the vivid light. Okay, there we go. So we do something kind of like that for happy holidays. And then since these are still all text layers, I can go back into the properties panel and change the leading. Do happy holidays. Very, very simple. There we go. The last one, I kind of want to do a different one underneath this. Very fascinating. All right, and then I'm going to do one in between. Baby It's Cold Outside, and then Happy Holidays itself. And then we have Jingle Bells. And then what I want to do with Jingle Bells is I kind of want to do, let's duplicate it. Let's make it a deep dark green. And we have our secondary one here. And I want that one to be red instead. We'll have it multiply like so. It'll be Jingle Bells. And we're going to do some really cool brush strokes underneath. With a nice big brush. I'm going to use very similar colors. And I'm going to duplicate this one. And instead of it being green, it's going to be a nice icy blue. Rotate that one. There we go. I'm also going to take the Jingle Bells one and I'm going to duplicate these layers. Because I think these stand alone pretty well by themselves, and I kind of like them by themselves as well. But what do you all think? I think this came out pretty good. I'm also thinking that maybe these could just be their own. We'll see. I kind of just like it the way it is. Alright, and then let's duplicate this one. And the color of that one is going to be white. There it is. We had it in a different set there. There we go. I really quite like that. That looks really cool. So what do you all think? I think this came out really quite interesting and fun. Just something fun to do for the holidays, and you can create any of these that you like. I know I have some classic ones here. I hope you learned a little bit more about art history and design, and I will see you all in my next video for the 1970s. See you soon, creatives.